that decision. Go ahead, Peter.
Thanks, Karine. Why do you think it is that 88% of people in this country polled by Monmouth think the country is on the wrong track?
And we are in a strong, we are stronger economically than we have been in history. When you look at the unemployment numbers at 3.6%, when you look at the jobs numbers, more than 8.7 million of new jobs created, that is important. But we understand that gas prices are high, and we understand that food costs are high, and that is because of a once in a generation pandemic and also Putin's war, and that's just the facts.
So if you think that your plan is popular with the American people, is it just that the plans are not being communicated properly, and is that why the communications director is leaving?
Oh, that's where you were going with this question. Oh, that's very slick there of you, Peter.
Well, why is she really leaving?
I mean, well, she said why she is leaving. Look, let me just say something. Wait, no. You're asking me.
That at a time that a historic number of people think the country's on the wrong track, somebody who has been a part of Biden world for as long as just about anybody here says that she is leaving.
Well, first let me just say, I explained that we understand what the American public is feeling. The president is doing everything in his power to lower costs, to blunt gas prices, as he has been doing, and we have done that. So I just want to speak about Kate for a second, because I think this is really important. I've known Kate since 2007. She is a friend and she is a colleague. She is exceptionally talented, and she will be greatly missed. Her smart skills and hard work helped get the president elected, and has helped us accomplish so much since we've been here. And like I said, on a personal note, she's a good friend and a colleague, and we are going to miss her. Now, you're asking me her leaving, and what does that mean, right, to the administration? Look, I don't think her leaving will have effect on what we're trying to do, because look, she leaves behind a talented team in communications department, and the president will name a new communications director. There's nothing new here. These things happen, and I do want to call out a data by Brookings showing that turnover in this administration is below the historical average going back to Reagan. So what we're seeing here is not unusual. What we're seeing here is normal, and what we're going to continue to do is we're going to communicate with the American people in the truthful way, and we're going to do that every day.
Okay, and just a different topic. The largest labor union in the country, the National...
He wants to make sure that we have an administration that looks like America, and so that is a priority for him. I cannot speak to that particular potential vacancy. That is something that a decision has not been made, and so I'm not going to get ahead of the president on that.
Okay.
Go ahead, Tam.
Yeah, thank you. Back when the president did sort of the small signing ceremony for the gun legislation, he said that he was going to do a bigger ceremony later. Is that still in the books? And can you give any sort of a preview of his message? A lot has happened since he signed that bill, and outside advocates are pushing him to go even further.
Yeah. And he wants to go further. I mean, he has said that. He has been very clear on saying that as much as he welcomed the bipartisan gun reform legislation that he signed into law right before he left for Europe, he had said we need to do more. He has been very clear on that. You got to remember, this is a president that led on the effort of making sure on banning assault weapons back in 1994, which sunset 10 years later. It was a priority for him then, and it continues to be a priority for him now. If you think about what we have seen over the last several weeks, you think about Buffalo, you think about Uvalde, you think about Highland Park, you think about the same story that they have over and over again, which is a weapon of war being unleashed on in our communities, and how and it's not just those communities. You think about Parkland, you think about Orlando, Las Vegas, Sandy Hook. It's assault rifles, and so and you think about what it's done to families and communities. These are assault rifles that, that bodies are too mutilated for families to even recognize, that they have to do a DNA tests. That should not be happening in our streets. It should not be happening in our streets. So the president believes that we need to ban assault weapons. This is something that he has talked about again for years. This is something that he wants to see happen. And so that's what he's going to continue to call on. On your first question, on if we're going to have an event, yes, we will have an event. You'll hear from us soon on when that will be. But yes, that is going to happen at some point. Yeah.
And yesterday, he, in his remarks in Ohio, it sounded like a midterm message, just a little bit.
It was fun. It was fun. It was great. It was great to see.
Are we going to see more of that? What is your sense of how much travel will be ramping up for the president?
I don't. Yeah, we don't have anything to preview at this time. But look, this is something that the president. You heard him say this himself. He wants to get out there. He, you see him out there with the American people, and it is a lively time. It is definitely an exciting time to see him, and they get excited, and he's able to push his message or talk about his message, his platform directly to the American people. And if you think about yesterday, it was about pensions, about union pensions, about what the work that the American Rescue Plan has done to make sure that we protect those pensions. And so that is such an important message for the American people to hear, and not just in Ohio, in many other in many other states across the country is going to be affected by the American Rescue Plan as well when it relates to union pensions and other items as well. Okay.
Thanks, Karine. Since you started the briefing talking about McConnell holding the Bipartisan Innovation Act hostage, has the president reached out directly to any Senate Republicans to convince them and make the case for why they should support this bill?
So I don't have any, we don't have any calls to read out. As you know, his Office of Leg Affairs is in constant communication, and not just his Office of Leg Affairs. You have other departments, offices in the White House that are constantly talking to congressional leaders and staff on issues that on these types of legislations that we believe are important to the American public. I just don't have anything to read out.
I figured you would say that, but what is the path forward if you know that there's Republicans that support this bill, but you need to get 10 of them to go ahead with you over the objections of McConnell? So what are you doing, and are you confident that there are actually 10 who would do that?
So look, we have seen, and I said at the top, we have seen progress. We wanted to make that clear, even though you heard me call out Mitch McConnell. We have seen some progress. What I was calling out is the hypocrisy that